from what I can see from this far away, California is very into their tinctures. I have to say that you know, we know that there's a very limited absorption orally, meaning through the skin of the mouth, and that really the primary absorption is, again, through the gut, as one might expect. And in those circumstances, the absorption of tincture tends to be pretty lousy compared to that of an edible. So generally speaking, I would opt for an edible. I think the other thing with tinctures is that people get a little bit inexact about their use, right? If you're counting drops and such like that, I think it's very easy to mess that up. So, you know, if you have a little gummy that's 5 milligrams of the THC component, you know, and you take that, you know, you got 5 milligrams, right? I really dislike it when people are like, 1, 2, 3, you know, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
In the few instances where I really need to use a tincture, I always tell people, don't drop it into your mouth, drop it onto a spoon, and then take it like cough syrup, right? So into the mouth and down the hatch, and chase it with something, because they usually taste terrible.
So it sounds like you're not coming from the school, and I heard this about you because now I've changed the way I do take my, you know, I used to put them, keep it there 30 seconds to a minute. And one of our friends said, nope, Dr. Tishler just says, take it, swallow it, and chase it. And so I've changed that. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hold this in my mouth for 2 minutes while I'm, you know, making my morning, you know, oatmeal or something like that, or before bed, you know. So I've changed that process on how I consume the medicine, and I call it medicine. It's first when we got into this,
and we talked about gummies versus tincture.
Yeah.
But I think one of the other things that people don't focus on enough is that cannabis behaves differently depending on how we take it, and so that actually means how we take it really is based on what we're treating. So, you know, everybody knows about smoking. I don't recommend that anybody smoke this stuff because smoke isn't very good for us. But smoking is not the only form of inhalation available to us. So we can put the cannabis, I happen to have it right in front of me, in like a little cannabis vaporizer, right? And this machine is smart enough to extract the medicine without burning the plant material. And that allows us to get the medicine without all of those risky chemicals. And that's kind of an ideal way to approach inhalation. Why do we want inhalation? Because inhalation is inherently rapid onset, right? 10 to 15 minutes. And then it's also sort of a modest duration, right? 3 or 4 hours, and then it starts to wear off. So for certain indications, certain illnesses or conditions, that's a better approach. If we have somebody who has trouble getting to sleep at night, then, you know, you want something that's going to work when they need to get sleep. If somebody has migraine type headaches, you want something that's going to work before the headache gets out of hand. The oral stuff, the edibles and such like that, are really the opposite, right? They're slow to work and even can be a little unpredictable in terms of when they're going to kick in. So yes, we absolutely talk about warnings and being aware of that and expecting it. What's the advantage to edibles? Well, they're like the extended release. Once they do kick in, you got more like 8 to 12 hours of coverage. So for somebody who has chronic 24/7 debilitating pain, if you use inhaled, you're going to get this kind of yo-yo effect, up, down, you know, feel better, don't feel better. You don't want that. We know from other areas of pain medicine that something that's more level actually does better at controlling pain. So something like an edible, which is kind of, again, that extended release version, is a better way to get pain control. And actually you end up using much less in terms of total dose. So thinking a little bit about the problem that needs to be treated kind of dictates not only dose and timing, but also the route of administration.
Hi, John Malanca here with United Patients Group. I hope you've enjoyed our videos. Please click like as well as subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Also, follow us on Twitter at Patients Group and on Facebook at United Patients Group, as well as for our podcast. Please click the link in the description below. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.